Hey guys, my name is Isaac. We're going to be talking about the iMac Pro and iMac for 2020. Getting into, we're going to go over design, main internals, other hardware release, all that great stuff we always do. Starting with design. First off, we don't know much about the iMac for 2020, if there will even be one in 2020. We know very little. Most of this is wish list, speculation, trying to compile everything into a fairly realistic upgrade for the next iMac. Starting with design, Ming-Chi is claiming we're going to get an all-new redesign with an edge-to-edge display. Considering there are going to be smaller bezels with an edge-to-edge display, it's fairly safe to say that the body itself will be shrinking while the display won't actually be growing much. Because the pixel density, let's say on the 27-inch iMac and iMac Pro, it's the same pixel density as the Pro Display XDR, which is 32 inches at 6K. So if the display grows, not necessarily getting any more detailed or crisp, the pixel density growing, just scaling it up, the size of the display, boosts it up to, if it went up to 30 inches, between 5.5K to 6K, and that's crossing into 6K territory, which is for the Pro Display XDR. It's safe to say that resolution, 6K, is going to be exclusive to the Pro Display XDR because of the price difference. It's such an expensive display. It's likely they won't be boosting up the iMac or iMac Pro to 6K anytime soon. Going into main internals, there have been reports that Apple will be going to in-house processors on their MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, their MacBook devices, not the iMac and iMac Pro. It would just be their processors, for Pro users, especially for the iMac Pro. I don't think Apple would be ready at the time by the end of 2020 even to have processors ready as powerful as the current processors in the iMac Pro. So it's likely there won't be in-house processors for the iMac and iMac Pro. Upgraded internals, that's just assumed, no reports on anything, and it's safe to say there will be an 8TB option considering that the MacBook Pro, which starts at about $23.99 USD, can be upgraded to 8TB. And the Mac Pro, which starts at $599.9, has an 8TB option. So the iMac Pro, which starts at $5,000, not having an 8TB option doesn't make sense right now. So it's extremely likely that it will be, when it gets refreshed, it will have an 8TB option. Moving on to other hardware is a better FaceTime camera. That's just speculation. It's bound to upgrade at some point. And then Face ID. Storage and pricing. No reports on it getting any more expensive, so we're just assuming for now it'll stay the same. The 21.5-inch starts at $1099, while the 27-inch starts at $1799. As for the iMac Pro, it currently starts at $5,000. Considering the Mac Pro starts at $6,000, it's likely the iMac Pro price won't go up anymore because they need to keep a gap in between the pricing for the iMac Pro and the Mac Pro, or else people are going to start comparing it a lot more, ruffle some sales. So it's likely that the iMac Pro price is going to stay the same. Getting into release, Ming-Chi said sometime in 2020. Then there's a fun patent I'd like to talk about. It's circled on some tech accounts for a little bit on social media. A patent Apple filed on the iMac. We don't know if it's 2020 or later, more likely later. It's sleek, it's different, it raises a few concerns which I'd like to address. First, looking at the main image that went everywhere, it looks, it's a sheet of glass. It looks way too thin to be able to stand up on itself. And it brings a lot of questions of, is it, the keyboard area and the screen, it's one sheet of glass. Does that mean you can't even adjust it? Where do the ports go? It's so thin. Where do you put the ports? I looked into the patent. I dove deep into it because I figured some of these issues had to be addressed in the patent. And the keyboard and the trackpads on the sides are removable. They're not stuck into the display that, the single sheet of glass. That wouldn't make sense, especially considering if you're somebody who likes to have the screen far away from you, pushed out into the desk, where you're gonna, obviously they're detachable. And when it comes to tilting the display itself and the keyboard area in between the curved part of the glass is tiltable. It's a flexible glass, so it can be tilted. And when it comes to ports, it's so thin. Where do the ports go? Actually, on the rear of the computer is where the computer actually sits. Kind of like the Surface Studio, where the computer is not actually directly attached to behind of the display. The only question it raises is if it's mountable or not, and we don't know. We'll have to see if that becomes a reality. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this patent. It's very interesting. Let me know if this is something you want to become a reality or you see it as completely inconvenient. Thank you for watching to the current duration of this video so far. If you liked it, like it and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.